Hi, I'm Jim Luxick from the Mohave Valley Daily News, and before we present the latest Findlay Student Athlete of the Month, let's talk a few minutes with Turnell Henry, BMX Hall of Fame member and owner-operator of the Bullhead City, Colorado River Track. And welcome, Turnell. First of all, tell us a little bit about how the track is progressing here and what upcoming changes you might have in store.
Well, Jim, what you're looking at is a track that had issues in the beginning with the right layout. So the layout usually comes by way of getting the association involved, because they have some of the best track builders in the world. So a lot of tracks, there are like 300 plus tracks in the United States, and they don't put a lot of time into their tracks, meaning that they do it themselves. Well, you got to use the association, number one. So that's what I did. I came in thinking I'm going to use one of the best track builders in the world to come out and help me with the track layout. And of course, we're kind of landlocked here. So with it being landlocked, we had to get creative. We had to leave some things in place and reconfigure. So with that, to answer your question, the layout came by way of just dealing with Billy Allen and the USA BMX. So at the fence line, we went fence line to fence line with a bulldozer and got everything to be completely flat. And then we walked everything off, with Billy Allen being a national caliber track operator, not track operator, but track director and builder. He came out and we walked it off in about 14 days. Him and I, with a water hose, a big 980 front loader, and a roller. 14 days we had a layout. The slurry and everything had to come afterwards, because the track wasn't packed yet. So by it not being packed, not one day, we didn't have the glue, we didn't have the top surface, which is the red portion of the track that you see. So with that being said, it took us probably, like, after maybe 1 year being here, we were able to come in and actually do something like this, and that's what Billy does. These guys will come right into an arena and put together something spectacular. So it helped me make a decision on what I needed to do here.
Tell us about Friday nights, the races and the age groups and so forth.
Friday nights are based on just a local race scene. So just like all the 300 plus tracks in the United States, they're scheduled or based on age group, and then proficiency, which is novice, intermediate, and expert. A novice could be considered a beginner, and so you have 6 and under, then you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 61 and over. Still flexing my muscles out there with some of the great BMX riders out there, so they make it harder on the old guy, but they're that's how we do it here. We try to use a format that is pretty much formulated and set up through USA BMX. Okay. So we just we went through a couple of track operator seminars. If you had never actually have been a track operator, so we got an idea of how the association would like to see it. And with that being said, we're out here every Friday on a format that seems to work. The age groups are they're not thrown to the wind, but if you don't have, if you have a 6 and 7 year old, one rider of each come out, it takes 3 to make a class. Those 2 will make a class, and then if they don't have any more to add to it, it'll move them up to the other age group. So it's called the Moto Maker. So we get on an average now of about between 30 and 40 riders on our regular norm. We have a new average now, which we are starting to get 50 riders out here now. Yeah, it's something that we try to do every Friday, unless there's a special event, and that's what we have here.
Well, speaking of which, let's look ahead to next year. Do you have any big upcoming events planned?
We do, but because we already had a Gold Cup qualifier, which was really a big event, a big thing here for us. We're not going to get one next year, but we are going to get a state qualifier, which is still going to pull about 300 riders because you know of the it's not a more it's not as regional with like say California, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. It's more of an Arizona thing. So, but you're going to get people from all over the state of Arizona to come out for this one. So, like this, like in our first year, we did like 200 riders, and then the year after that, we did 250. With the Gold Cup qualifier, which is more regional, we had 354 riders out here. I think with just a state race, we're going to do about anywhere between 250 and 300 riders coming up. So that's one. Then we're going to have our Race for Life and our War Nikki. Well, Race for Life is just it's a race that we bring in proceeds that will allow us to give back to the Lymphoma and the Cancer Society. So we give half our proceeds back to the association for that. And then the War Nikki race, which is also a fundraiser type of race for what they call a scholarship for kids and for parents who want to further their education. So it's not just for the kids, it's for parents who want to go to a college. So that's the War Nikki. So we'll have those events this year. We try to do those every year. Now there's what they call an earn double. We haven't gotten that far yet. We're still new as opposed to some of the other tracks that have been around. So you got to be within the top 50% of all the top 10. Well, there's 10 tracks in our district. We have to be within the top 50% to get some of that love. So maybe maybe one more year with a lot of what we call track improvements that have to happen here. Maybe we can continue to raise our membership base and hopefully get an earn double. Hopefully sometime in the next coming season, but we're going to probably be looking at about 4 special events for next year.
All right, sounds good. Well, good luck with that. And
yeah, there's a lot of talking going on. Hopefully it made sense.
Absolutely, and we thank you for your time, Turnell. Now let's hand it over to Shane at Findlay for the latest Findlay Student Athlete of the Month presentation.
What's up, guys? Shane at Findlay here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it on the trip down to see our Athlete of the Month, but I want to congratulate Madeline McDonald on being our Athlete of the Month. John, why don't you introduce her?
Hey everybody, not Shane, obviously. He's a little bit taller and larger than me. John from the Mohave Valley Daily News. We're here to present our Athlete of the Month, so thank you to Jim and Turnell for that awesome interview. You probably recognize the young lady I'm standing next to. It's Madeline McDonald from Mohave High School. She's from the swim team. Hi, Madeline. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Maddie is our Athlete of the Month. Maddie, as we were investigating this to find out what stats and everything, we found out that Maddie, in 24 races before the state meet, hadn't lost a race yet. Between individual races and for the some of the relay races as well. So if you have Maddie on your fantasy swim team, you are a winner. But we were also, she was recognized earlier in the year, or earlier in the month for her performance at state, for her performance in a dual meet where she set 2 school records in the 100 free and the 200 free. Yeah, I raced her. She barely beat me, but it is what it is. I'm carrying a little bit more. So congratulations, Maddie.
Thank you.
Maddie's also a 4.0 student.
Yes.
So what does this Athlete of the Month thing mean to you?
Yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Like we kind of talked about it previously in my first interview, Coach Ed and Coach Hiley have been with me since I was 5 years old, so I'm kind of appreciative for letting them train me to get this award. It's kind of a reflection of them as well. So I'm very grateful to the community that has let me swim in the community pool since I was 5, and all my teachers for letting me learn and be an active student athlete as well.
Student athlete is the key part of this, and thank you to Findlay to sponsoring this, but we don't recognize somebody unless they're not only a great athlete as you are, but also a great student as you are, 4.0. We talked last time at the interview about what your plans are What are your plans in the future?
It's still planning on going to ASU and being a nurse, and then traveling, going on from that to work with a nonprofit organization like Red Cross or Nurses Without Borders, kind of to travel the world and help people who don't have as much access to health care.
Well, that's awesome. So I think well-deserving as an athlete, of course, but also as a student, and it's great to hear that you're going to be doing those things in the future to help the community and help people. That's awesome. Congratulations one more time.
Thank you.
Let's get a good picture of her.